Hello, GOGOKID teachers and VIPKID teachers. It's Teacher Jenny coming to you today with information on how to take a vacation with VIPKID or GOGOKID. All right. The beauty of teaching with both VIPKID and GOGOKID is that you can take time off whenever you want. If you have such a schedule that you are traveling with a job, or God bless you if you get to vacation every other month, or you simply have commitments where this 1 week, every single month you can't teach, it's okay. All you do is not open the classes during that period of time. Now, if you're a teacher like me who teaches 9 to 10 classes every single morning, sometimes a couple classes in the evening, and you have 95+% regular students, you are going to want to take some additional steps when you decide to take time off. This is what you're going to want to do. Now, I just returned from a vacation in California, yay! Which was lovely. I live in Ohio myself, so it was wonderful to go across the country. This is what I did to take that time off. About 2.5 weeks prior to the day I was leaving for that trip, I posted a paragraph at the end of all of my parent feedback. Now, I created this in a Word document, so all I had to do was cut and paste it into the feedback at the end of the feedback for the parent. And it said, I want you to know my oldest daughter is graduating from college, and I will be attending her graduation, which will be in California on the opposite side of the country from where I live. I will stay there for 2 weeks to help her settle into an apartment and to visit and have a family vacation. My classes will resume on May 31st. I look forward to seeing your child and to teaching them again starting on May 31st. That's it. Cut and pasted it. Some of the kids receive that same information probably 6 times because they see it multiple times a week. That's okay. In my experience, the parents don't always read the feedback. And the more times I put it in there, the more likely it is they're going to read it and be aware of what's going on. Also, some of my kids, I only see once a week. And if they can't get the slot that works for them and they see another teacher, I may only see them every other week. So I needed to go far enough in advance to make sure that the parents were aware of that information. Something else you can do, which I have done in the past when I have taken time off, I didn't do it this time, is you can write on a sheet of paper, no classes from this day to this day, on vacation, returning on this day. I don't know. It's a lot of information, but I've done that before, and I've held it up at the end of my class so that they could see, and it's on video also for the parents who don't read. That's up to you if you want to do that. That would be great and fine. The other thing I did is I wanted the companies to know that I'm taking this 2 weeks off. Not because I have to let the companies know I'm taking this 2 weeks off, but because I know some of the parents aren't going to read the feedback and they're going to try to book me online. They're not going to be able to. So when they contact the company and say, how come I can't get Teacher Jenny? What's happening with her schedule? Nothing's open. The company will say, she is on vacation and this is the date she's going to be returning. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch out my glasses. I'm sure you don't want to just keep looking at my dark eyes. So go ahead and type in the feedback, possibly hold up a sign if you want to. For my regulars, where the parent was sitting there and I know that the parent speaks very good English, I also told them on my very last day when I knew I wasn't going to see them again. Goodbye, Mom. I just want you to remember I'm going on vacation. And most of them said, yes, yes, yes. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy your daughter. We'll see you when you come back. Some of the Some of the parents made a point to say goodbye and have a good trip, or they had their kids say, have a good trip. It was just so cute. So they're aware of what's going on. Now, that being said, I still had priority booking requests to try to book during those 2 weeks from some of my regulars who clearly are not reading the feedback, which was disappointing because some of those kids I was like, really? They never read the feedback that I write? I write some good feedback for some of these kids. But nevertheless, if I got a priority booking request for one of those 2 weeks when I was gone, I had that paragraph prepared to go, so I could click on, I will be traveling during this time as my reason for declining, and then I would cut and paste in the box below the reason why. Some of them I don't think even read that because they kept doing priority booking requests. But nevertheless, I didn't worry about it. I didn't worry about teaching at all, and that's completely up to you. It's my personal preference that when I am going on vacation, I am going on vacation. I love teaching. I love my kids, but I don't want to worry about the schedule, especially traveling where it's a 3-hour time change. I would have constantly been stressing about if I have to get back in time in the evening to teach those evening classes because they start at 6 instead of starting at 9 p.m. In the morning, I would have oh my goodness, I would have had to wake up at such an early hour in the morning. I would have been getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to teach my regular schedule? I don't think so. And then just to teach the 2 in the morning, to teach any of them in the morning is difficult because I was in a hotel room. It was a nice hotel room. It was, a suite. It had extra rooms in that, but still there's no way in those hotel rooms that I was going to be able to teach without everybody else in my hotel room hearing me. So they don't want me teaching in the morning either. Everybody wants to sleep in. At least until like 7 o'clock in the morning, at which point classes would have been over. So it just isn't for me. And I had no worries or stress when something came up. Like on this trip, we decided, let's do this whale watching tour. It's a really great deal. I don't have to be like, oh no, I can't. I've got these 2 kids I have to see this evening. I can't go on the whale watching sunlight tour. Didn't have to worry about that, or last minute dinner reservations, or something else that came up, or staying out really late at night. Didn't have to worry about it because I didn't have to worry about getting up early in the morning to teach classes. All I had to do was worry about getting up early enough in the morning to get the fabulous breakfast that they had at the hotel that we were at. So for that reason, I don't do it. I also find that the internet stability is very inconsistent at hotels. You do have to pay for the premium in order to have a good connection with the VIPKID and the GOGOKID platform. The regular connection is not going to cut it. And even at that, it's best if you can hardwire it. And a lot of hotels don't offer that anymore. So you can call ahead if you want to continue doing classes when you travel and see if they have a hardwire Ethernet connection that you can put into your laptop. But even the premium internet that I frequently have due to some of my frequent flyer programs that I have at different hotels, it's still not great. It's still like a lot of buffering in that's happening just with regular watching of videos and online stuff. So I don't trust it personally. Now, that being said, I know lots of people who travel and they teach classes when they're on the road. And so there's that, okay? You do you figure out what works for you. In the end, I'm not even going to mess with it because when I'm on vacation, like I said before, I am on vacation. I solely enjoyed my family that entire time, gave them my undivided attention, and truly enjoyed myself and felt refreshed and rejuvenated throughout the time and allowed myself to truly relax while I was there. All right. Now, one recommendation I'm going to give you is that when you're coming back from a vacation, if you're traveling back and it's not just like a staycation kind of vacation, but a true vacation where you're leaving and coming back, then I recommend that you give yourself one extra day before starting to teach classes again. I kind of did that with my schedule. I meant to teach no classes on the Thursday. I told everybody I'd be back on the 31st. The reality is I was traveling back on the 29th, but I wasn't leaving until the afternoon, and with the time change and all that, and because I was taking two connecting flight to get home, I wasn't going to get home until after midnight. I didn't want to teach classes 5 hours later in the morning, and I knew I'd be tired from all the traveling and all the excitement of the trip, and so I wanted to be able to sleep in that day. But what happened was I happened to travel back on a Thursday, and on Thursdays I have two children that I see for speech therapy, and I didn't want to miss them. I do them online as well. So one is at 12:30, one's at 10:30 in the morning. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and book the 9:30 VIPKID slot, because it's the last slot of the morning. I knew who was going to take it. It's one of my regulars who I love dearly. She never does priority booking requests, so she always takes the 9:30 slot. I wish she would do priority booking requests because she could have the class whenever she wants, but I open VIPKID at 5:30 and 9:30, just open for whoever to book. Other than that, I only do priority booking requests. I write in my feedback every time, please do a priority booking request, or let me know, because I have WeChat with them. You can let me know via WeChat if there's a certain day or time that you want, and I'll work with you to open up that slot. But it's never worked with this kid. I don't think the parent reads any of the feedback. So it is what it is, and I thought, oh, I'm going to miss Sissy. Her name is Sissy if I don't open that slot. So I'm going to go ahead and open it, because I figure worst case scenario, if I'm jet lagged and tired and somehow don't hear my alarm or schedule, the clock doesn't kick back, my iPhone doesn't go back in the proper time zone, or in my deliriousness I set it incorrectly or whatever, I know that VIPKID 15 minutes before my class is going to ring on my phone to let me know you have a class in 15 minutes. So that's what I did. Now, I'm so glad I did, because my flight was canceled. Yes, my flight was canceled. And not only was the 2 o'clock flight canceled, but they put me on a 12:30 p.m. flight the next day coming home. So that was inconvenient. It was canceled, they said, due to weather in Dallas. How bad can the weather be in Dallas? I don't know. Pretty bad, apparently. I don't know what it was, what kind of storms. I mean, we land in all kinds of snowstorms and rainstorms and ice and all kinds of stuff in Cleveland all the time. So what could happen in Dallas that would keep planes from landing and taking off? I don't know. In May, it's not even like ice storms or anything. It's May in Dallas. I don't know. So at any rate, American canceled the flight, tried to send me out the next day. I had to just cancel it altogether and book a last minute flight on United. United saved the day. They had a direct flight flying out at 11 p.m. and getting in at 6:30 in the morning in Cleveland because of the time change. It's not it's a 4.5 hour flight. All right. Now, the same thing, interestingly, happened to my husband. My husband and my son, we all flew out on the same day. My sister and her girls all flew out for the graduation. And my husband and son only were there for 4 days, because my son is a freshman in high school and was very nervous about finals coming up. It was a week before finals that next week, and he wanted to get back. My husband's a school teacher. He felt like he really couldn't take more than 2 school days off. So after 4 days, they flew back. It was my middle child, who is my daughter, and I, who stayed out there for the full 2 weeks to help my older daughter. Now, my second daughter was a freshman in college, and college was done. Her finals were over, and she was home, so we spent that time out there with her. So when the boys flew back earlier, wouldn't you know, the morning of, Southwest sends us an email saying the flight was canceled due to mechanical problems with the plane. They didn't have a flight until the next day. So United saved the day again. We were able to get them on a United flight that was only, I think, an hour and a half later than the flight they were going to take off from, and they ended up getting home like an hour and a half later. And so it was all okay. No problems for them. And this ended up being okay for us as well. My daughter, my second child, who is a freshman in college, well, she's graduating in 3 years, so she's really going into junior status next year in her second year of college. She's a pre-vet major, and so this summer, she got a job at a doggy daycare, and she got hired to volunteer for a research project at our local zoo. At the Cleveland Zoo. So she really wanted to get back. It was her first day. It was her training day. And she had to reschedule it already when we booked this trip because she had it all scheduled way in advance. She got accepted months ago. And she felt bad that she had to reschedule her training. And she was almost in tears. I can't reschedule again because the only other day they had was the next day. And the next day was her first day of work at the doggy daycare she was going to be working at for 6 hours that day, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. So she's like, I can't cancel my first day there. And I can't, she was like all worried. And I'm like, okay, we'll get back. We'll do what we can to get back. So yes, I wanted to get back for myself as well. But luckily for me, all I did was have one VIP kid, so I would have had one teacher cancellation. I didn't have the whole morning full of classes and have to worry about 3 cancellations or more within a day. Now, when it comes to cancellations and all that, I have a whole separate video on that, so I'm not going to go into the details of that. But I tell you this story because I just want you to be prepared and think about it. Here are 2 of us that both had our flights canceled for completely different reasons on completely different airlines. One was Southwest, one was American. And neither of us got home when we expected to get home. Now, by the grace of God, we got home within a reasonable amount of time because of another airline that was able to get us on. Of course, we had to pay the extra $150 booking fee because of booking a flight within 24 hours, but we got home. And it was worth it to not wait that extra day. 11 hours at LAX, however, let me tell you, that's a long time. That's a long time to wait in an airport. Wait for your flight. But LAX has an amazing international wing with literally like a 3-story mall in it with all kinds of stores and amazing restaurants, and there's a plethora of stuff to do. And the international wing also has many sections where there's nobody there, no flights going out, and their chairs are easier to lay on because you can find 2 without a handle in between, so you can lay down and take a quick nap. So I highly recommend, if you find yourself stranded for an extended period of time at LAX, to go to the, what did they call it? It has a name. I don't know whose name it was. Tom Bradley, the Tom Bradley wing, which is their international wing. And it has all this wonderful stuff to do. Most of it was window shopping for me, but nevertheless, we could get snacks and we could get food, and we could find a wonderful place to take naps that wasn't around anybody else. Compared to the rest of the airport. Now, keep in mind, it took us about 25 minutes to walk there from Terminal 7 all the way to this wing, but that's okay. We had time. It was nice to get a little exercise too, because we had a lot of sitting around that day and sitting around on the plane as well. All right. I digress. I always do. This is obviously not a sponsored video. This is just me talking and providing information to you. But give yourself a buffer day so that you are not flying home late one night and teaching classes the next morning. You're going to want that extra day just to acclimate, to go through the pile this high of mail that you have to get through, to check the 25 messages on your answer machine, to allow your body to acclimate to the time change, and to give yourself just an ability to breathe. Because don't we all usually say we need a vacation after our vacation? As wonderful and relaxing, as fantastic as it was filled with a lot of wonderful things. And of course, me making sure I got up every morning and had breakfast at 6 a.m. with my daughter, because she started working actually during her finals week. God bless her. She got a fantastic job at a talent agency right out of college in California. And so she was leaving to drive into work from our hotel room, and I would get up early and have breakfast with her at 6 a.m. and see her off and go back to the room, do some work on the computer. Usually the last day I just packed, I should have been on my computer and seen that my flight was canceled, but I would do a little bit of work, and then at 8 a.m., my other daughter would get up and we'd go to breakfast again. So now I need to do some serious summer exercise to work off the double breakfasts I had for a week and a half in California. Oy. All right. So things happen. Give yourself a buffer day when you come back. Let yourself relax and not have to worry about, is there going to be any kind of problems with my travel on the way back that's going to prevent me from doing those initial classes? Extend your vacation one more day. All right, that's all. More information than I meant to share with you. That's my whole life story. But I hope it's helpful for you, and now you understand what you need to do when you want to take time off at either VIPKID or GOGOKID. It's very simple. The reality is you really don't need to do anything other than not open classes. But if you have regular students, I do recommend you letting them know via feedback, and then also contacting both the company through the portal for VIPKID and through a ticket through GOGOKID to let them know the days that you're going to be missing and when you're going to be coming back too. That's all. If you are watching this video because you want information on VIPKID and GOGOKID and wanted to know, am I going to be able to do this job and take time off? And you haven't signed up to be a teacher yet, I have links down below. Click on those links when you apply so that it goes through my portal, and I would be the person who would be your mentor and help you with getting started at either one of the companies. And I will also be the one that you can email and ask any questions you want to about getting started. All right, that's everything. You take care. Have a wonderful day, and happy teaching, all you teachers, and have a great vacation. Bye-bye.